heroes, whatever you want to call them from that game. I don't play Overwatch. I don't know about it. Whatever the hell they were called in that terrible game, he had to pick from many different options, right? Was always changing up, wasn't staying on one. So we know he can sit there and learn it. We know he can put the time in and move himself forward. So for me, Hip's one of those guys that can be incredibly versatile. I think that's going to be a strength 100% Nip will need and lay on.
Yeah, definitely. I love how you've just insulted all the Overwatch fans that have been like, hey, I might watch some Valorant today.
Well, they've come to watch a better game, right? They've come to actually watch a game that made sense, that isn't just falling apart slowly. And all their players going to a better game that requires real skill.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
There we go.
I didn't say I disagree.
There we go.
But we're getting into the game now, ready for the pistol to start in just a moment. As you can see, NIP are going to be starting on the attacking side. So G2 picked this map. I mean, NIP chose to start attack.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I definitely respect the idea of setting the pace yourself, right? You get to come in, you get to choose how you want to play it, and they have won the majority of the rounds on the attacking side in the past. It's just
good logic.
Yeah, it's rare in these style of games for teams to pick attacking side. But I think it's something that certainly within Counter-Strike has evolved recently with CIS teams starting like half the pool, they'll pick attacking, they'll pick T side as
full divide.
Exactly. But it's like you get the hard part out of the way.
Yeah.
And if you have a good attack, then it's much easier to sit back on the defense and cruise through.
Oh, this is not the start Hip would have wanted though. He went out for a bit solo. The rest of his team now coming out. They will get rid of it, but now their information has been had. Nip are going to try and push their way onto the A site. Lots of smokes going down. Piff's trying to hide it out on the Cypher. Patatek up high, he's out in the open, but no one takes him down. This is looking real good for G2. Nip fire back with a couple. Kree tries to teleport up, but he gets slapped down, and the first round goes to G2.
It does indeed. Strong performance from them, and Patatek in particular, the man that we've looked at on this lineup as being the savior in a lot of the previous tournaments. He's a beast.
Just look at this, he's so good about this. He's like, oh, wait a second, what are you doing there? Because he was in the right-hand side of him, he just couldn't quite see. He's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. There was so much going on the site, but they do manage to get the job done, and that's what it's all about.
What's quite surprising to me is how low rated Patatek is in general when it comes to average combat score and first bloods per round. He's still in the top like 15, but he's been so strong for us in a lot of the games we've watched him in the past, especially. Maybe not so much in this tournament, but it is weird then to just see that.
I got to laugh, sorry, Mitch. Most of that was just through smokes and just full spraying down. The first kill was open, and then everything else was just all abilities being spammed and Ninja's going, well, we're not getting out of this one, boys.
So we talked about Patatek being solid. He's 6 for 0 at the moment. It's a bit of a good start for him, but that's obviously the pistol and the anti-eco underway. Now it's time to really get into the meat of the game when the rifles come out. If NIP can get this, they're still in here. They're still ready to rumble. If not, they give a 4-0 lead over to their opponents, and that is not what you want, especially because they've saved all those weapons over for free.
Feed that dragon, feed Patatek kills. Make it work, make it happen, but this, like you said, Mitch, is the round that'll change it all.
So one thing when it comes to playing in as a Cypher, those cages, you have to always mix up where you're putting them, especially with the agent composition of NIP. They've got like a jet that can just swing out. She'll just go through that choke point every time. So you want something maybe a little bit deeper to catch her potentially so that she dashes into it rather than just through it. And then obviously we've seen already the Sova used quite a bit in the shock darts to clear Cypher utility to allow you to just push straight on through if there are more predictable spots. There's Rhyme onto Pith, and talking about the Cypher over towards the A site. He's now just completely deleted. This artist looks to get a little bit of control and do some damage, but NIP haven't just knee-jerked a response out of finding that opening duel. They've kept the pace slow, and they're looking to just take gradual map control. They need to make sure they're peeking together, though. If Hip lost that fight, no one could have traded.
Yeah, that would have been a rough ride for NIP, but they've started off strong in this round. Mixwell right on the corner. He hears the footsteps. Oh, no! He does get the spike, but he could have missed that one, and that was just never going to work out for him. Those first few bullets not connecting really did make his job a lot harder. Now it's just Patatek left alive, and, well, it's not going to be for too long. Lucka, ready, an easy shot for him to hit. And the big rifle round that goes up in favor of the NIP side of things.
So for NIP answering back this early is obviously solid, but as we said, nobody dying in that second round leaves G2 in a position where they can't buy. Now, they were slow in that round. They allowed Presence to come through to A, and really, as soon as Pith fell on the A site, that's where trouble started to brew. At that point, you've got no information. You want to start a rotate, but that leaves B open. And as you saw, NIP just pushed up top mid, split into B, easy as can be. Recon Bolt Destroyed confirms as a player to the right side. A very aggressive push by Artis, but hell, what else do you expect from this man? He bails back after being spotted by the camera, not wanting to just get peeked and swung straight on out. The control really far spread for NIP, but they're winning all these duels. That flashed through the wall a little bit too wide, and Artis even sprays down to take Hip out, but he has dragged the rotates. 3 players now towards the B side.
Really good opening, though, from NIP. Sadly, Hip couldn't get more than that done. Patatek, oh, the timing works out perfectly. Rhyme did not expect him to be tucked away in the corner. He teleports out, the door gets closed. That's what you see so many times from this position. David P onto Lucker as well. And NIP getting caught mid-rotate, trying to find their way back in. The time's ticking away. Still enough to play with here, but they're heavily outnumbered in this one. And oh, he's teleporting in. Recon goes down. He's looking for him. Patatek, genius. And he ends it with a headshot. He is ready to lock down this A site and give NIP 0 chances of getting another round on the board.
That is the 3rd round out of 4 where Patatek's had a 3K at this point. It's starting to feel ridiculous, I'll be honest with you.
This is just brilliant, right? So smart play. Gets this kill once the cage goes down. Instantly closes the door in case the push is coming in. He's on his own. He teleports to the back. Then what happens afterwards? He maneuvers around a little bit. He sees the other Omen go to teleport, waits for it, and just has a good read on exactly where he would go. That Omen to Omen play, he's got a good idea of how it might work out. Big brain. Oh, by Hype.
The shock dart goes through, pushes Hype forward, and he's just taken down immediately. Our look. Oh, no. Mixwell not able to connect it, and he's dashed on, but Looker taken down by Artis from afar. Really well handled. If Artis wasn't there, that could have gotten real scary.
You know, Mixwell's confident that his teammates were behind him then as well, because he popped out with a shorty, but Kree now will get the kill onto him. Starts to slow down a bit. The Omen's got himself to the back of the site. Kree finishes off David P. Rhyme needs to be oh so careful here, though. He goes down to Artis, and this will give him the chance to strike. Quickly gets the reload on go. Kree very low on health. He's trying to just hide away, but this could be far too much for him to deal with. You can see G2 just being careful. They know what this man can do, but they start to go together. They start to tag him up. They spam him down. Biff gets the kill, and another round going G2's way. This defense looking solid.
It definitely is. Just giving up that 1 round to NIP, but nothing ever since then. For G2, they've got to get that confidence built up. Again, we know that when it comes down to the attacking side, obviously NIP generally score net quite a lot of rounds. And for G2, it is actually the polar opposite. Their defense is where they pick up the majority. So this first half is actually very pivotal. Whoever comes out on top of it, most likely, based on the stats, wins the game, or at least has a massive advantage. At the moment, NIP will take any advantage they can get. I mean, kills are hard to come by when Patatek just keeps on triple spray down everybody that comes towards him. And the sad thing about that was that it very much felt like in that 4th round, like it could have went his way. Because if Rhyme it was, right? It was first out.
He nearly got it. Sorry, Mitch. Piff actually threw that up and took just a shot through the smoke, and it was real close to actually hitting. Good read on where they still might be, but now he can't have that information.
Stolen away. So, also, you'll remember the last time we saw NIP play on this map, that Hip was constantly lurking over towards the B site. And that might be something that is influencing G2 to play this much more passive style than what we've seen from them in the past with their active aggression, knowing that their opponents do like to take that, they like to just wait outside. Even if they are going to go A, there's probably someone waiting for the B push.
And isn't this also where G2 had to really deal with Aslan for a long time when he was on the defensive side? And that was like a serious problem for him. So they've been on the receiving ends of some horrible moments on this map quite recently.
And look at the patience by Hip. They've pushed into the A site completely. Jet's already in, and Hip's waiting behind this. He's not going to get a chance to really get through, though.
And Patatek's gone down this time, though,
they're
Mitch.
going to go B.
That's a problem. Oh, the rotate. This is so smart. Piff gets the kill. He's looking for more, but it's not going to happen. David P is going to have to come up huge here. He spots out one, but that was the ult being done. He's got to expect it coming from elsewhere. He needs to... Oh, no, it's the timing. The flash has come out, but Hip doesn't push on it. Spike planted. This is still doable. David P is actually in a really good position. Does anyone need a heal other than David P himself? He does have the heal up, but he doesn't seem to want to use it just yet. Oh, the timing. They managed to get the damage done. It's Artist with the shock dart. Fearoff trying to keep himself in a good position. The spam through the wall from Fearoff isn't going to land just yet, and Piff finishes him off. The retake comes in again. G2 hold their own even after that really just super surprise B push comes in. And we got to say, G2 right now, they are not missing a trick.
A big TP up behind by Kree to get back into Boathouse and cause some havoc from behind, using up his paranoia and his smoke to stop anybody from pushing back out and keep G2 at bay as they overtook the site. Unfortunately, though, the duels again just swing towards G2. Individuals stepping it up round on round. This time it was Pith that we saw just wrecking house. And with that 5-1 lead, they are starting to get a little bit worried for NIP. It's time to start showing up. Because G2 are already approaching where we would expect them to be at the end of the half. And realistically, if they're finishing out 7-5, I feel like that's decent. And at this point, that seems very hard to avoid. The Cypher cams just shooting each other.
Oh. Jeff, how are you going to play it? You allow it through, then you take it down. Backs away just a little bit for now. Hip again, playing from this position. How many times is he going to get away with this? They're trying to push through the cage. Artist has gone down, and that's unfortunate. This is looking real good for Nip to push in, but they've got to try and keep on to these numbers. Slowly but surely, it's going against them, and Mixwell's come out with the knives. He's a flying, he's a swinging, and he's delivering the headshots. Palatech, right on the edge of it. Smoke is down, the orb's down as well. There's a slight gap in it, though, so they've got to be very careful. Flame wall up. Molly on the floor as well. He's healing Hip up. He's checking all the corners. No one's there just yet. Mixwell gets away with a kill, but now the spike is back in the hands of Hip. If he can run away with this, there is a good chance he will be able to get to the site, but he's got to be oh so careful because he did not expect both players to be there. Now it's all on how G2 want to play this. It's about sticking together and going to take him down, because while he'll be able to get the spike, they also won't have the information of where he'll be. But I love this. You heard the Omen go. He teleported to the back of the site. Hip needs to be ready for this. He's heard it go down, but they can play with the time because the pressure is all on Hip. He's looking, he's hoping for it, but Padatech, he is on fire this game, and he seals the deal. That's NIP, their chances ruined on a 1v2.
Absolutely fantastic work by Padatech. Double digits now, 10 kills on the board. That's fantastic. The fact that he manages to get around there, obviously saves the ult for so long, and he waited as long as he possibly could before going for it, just in case it was going to be a big fake by Hip. Another round for G2, even though it comes so close. That's just devastating at this point for NIP. They can't seem to get themselves on that board. Now down to just pistols, where it becomes even less likely. The ultimates in play don't give them a lot to work with either to bridge that gap. They've got Cypher and Sova charged up and ready to go, but unfortunately, really, those abilities aren't going to be game-changing or round-changing when you only have pistols to work around them. And another slow approach by NIP. This time, though, they've not got anybody towards that B site. They've left a tripwire there just in case the opponents do get a little bit aggressive, a little bit froggy.
Smart.
But other than that, it's just going to be straight push over towards this A site. They've managed to grab themselves nothing so far, but eventually a kill comes through from Fearoth. That might be all, though. Good shot.
Oh, Padatech. He's really feeling the game right now. Another one. And another one. And another one. It's just Padatech, man.
That's his fourth 3K in 7 rounds. Eight rounds. Not bad.
He's loving life.
Not bad at all.
If I just get my ult, I'm just popping it for the fun of it at this point. You know you'll have another one back real soon. 13 for 2 right now for Padatech. Padatech, the 3K man. With the master plan. And the shadowy omen. Look at the recoil control of this bit. Boom, boom, boom. Done, done, done.
7-1, man. You don't see this too often.
Not on the defending side of Ascent.
And not when these two teams are so well stacked up against each other. Usually, obviously,
Usually, keyword. Yeah.
NIP in this tournament have definitely been underwhelming, but you still would expect a better performance than this. I said the easy games were behind them. This is certainly one of the hard ones.
Oh, Padatech, though, that confidence is going to get the better of you this time. Piff trying to even up the numbers a bit here, but it is just him and Ardis. Now, Ardis is certainly a threat to any team, but he may have gambled wrong as they seem to be pushing back towards the A site. No commitment coming out from Nip just yet, not too far forward with it. But when you're looking at G2 now, they really don't have the information. You see where Piff's going. He might just be able to sneak behind him. This is super interesting. They're slightly checking for it. Piff's not making any noise. If he gets it, oh, the timing, he's just going to miss it now. That's so unlucky. He's checking spawn just because. Why the hell not? But it's definitely going to be A. If he was going this whole time, he could have snuck behind him. It's Hip now that's having a good look for him. This is very interesting. How is this all going to pan out? Does Ardis have his ult at all as well?
No.
Oh.
He's not got it to work with, unfortunately.
I'd say that could be huge if he had his ult, then I'd see a winnable situation. It's not impossible. It's 4v2, but it's just the lack of information, the lack of knowledge here for G2 just going to make this so hard.
It's G2 at the moment. I mean, nothing is impossible until that round timer ticks down. But the 7-1 lead might now be broken. The streak disappearing as G2 contemplating a save because they're not given any opportunities. Can't stick around forever and hope you can get in and defuse in time. NIP will just back off, and that's going to be a second round on the board for NIP at long last. They've taken their time. They made it dramatic.
Ooh, poor Piff. He'd been behind them for so long. The flank nearly paid off. He had so many opportunities without actually knowing it. Obviously, we can see through the walls. But, Ardis, you don't want to... I know they got money. I know it's not a problem. But just at that point, it's not really worth it, mate.
At the end of the day, you're giving them an extra ult charge. But I guess he's getting one for himself as well with the death. Up and downside to it. Now just one away.
Closer.
He's got 6 out of 7. But on the 7-2, we come back in with obviously with a full buy for G2 Esports. They maxed out their money. I'm very glad they changed it to 9K. I know that was a while back, but if it was up around 12, it would just be ridiculous. You wouldn't see G2 ecoing at all.
No.
They would just win around and start the streak.
It was far too high when it came to that. Oh, you couldn't get rid of that in time, David. But you will back away. You won't be pressured at least. Hip. No. That was awkward.
He's quite lucky that Fearoth didn't decide to pop his ultimate once the tag came through. Because that could have been a very easy kill, especially because the fallback would just be straight through an arch, which is a very narrow...
I love this, right? They've given up mid. Padatech.
Great job.
Yes, he is just in the game. He's dialed in. He's not feeling the pressure. Nip are struggling to apply the pressure, let's be honest. And this push, this aggression means that they won't be just doing a last-minute bust into the site. And Padatech's just doing it one by one. Doesn't matter what they try to do. He's even nearly tagging them up. Oh my, he's just taking spams. Lucker eventually does manage to get the frag. But it could be all too late. It's now a bounce back from G2. They may have lost another round, but they said, well, you may have that one, boys. But just remember who you're going up against. As Mixwell, he says, Lucker, check behind you, buddy. David P gets the revive onto Padatech, and now it's all spells trouble. 5v1. Just a cipher that remains.
What can you really do when you're in this kind of a situation? An ace clutch needed. No, he's at least tagged Padatech. Oh, no.
Oh.
Didn't know how close Ryan was. He's learned the lesson.
Padatech on the double death for the day. Got revived.
Even on a stage where he's trying to save over those tripwires. And when he's so rough. I know it says 3,200 down the bottom, but I think it's just a glitch.
Ooh. He didn't know where to go. He eventually goes down. Rhyme tried his might, but that wasn't going to work out. 8-2 now, G2. They are looking strong. 3 ults up at the moment. The Sova, the Omen, and the Cypher. You saw Padatech last time he used the Omen. It secured that round from him in style when it was a 2v1. But yeah, okay, you can say they were favored in it, but Hip had that site under control. I really like how smart play that was. That was a good use of an Omen ult where quite often they end up a bit awkward more than normally.
They're usually the best that you get with them. I'd say like the average Omen ult is just a bit of information and that's about it. Like, oh, there's one here. Playing backside or something.
Your boy Fearoff. Is he Irish today or French for you?
I think we'll go French for now.
Okay. Oh no, Artis. He's trying to line them up. He finds himself one and he's going in for more damage. Huge damage done. That is a big problem for him. Fearoff tried to push his way in, is able to get it. But he needs to do a bit more than that if they want to try and secure this round. Damage being done further to him. It's Patatek with the kill. And now it is all on the Jet. Lucka ducking down, making sure his head's not seen. He's got the operator. And he's hoping that someone might be pushing around. Finding that spike's going to be hard. He's got plenty of time at least. 3 frags though, and a spike pickup. I don't know if I fancy his chances with this one.
No, it ain't looking all too good. He's being watched as well as he comes down. Mixwell's ready to just take that shot and eliminate him. The dragon in hand. And he's spitting fire all over him.
Quite literally.
9-2. This is ridiculous from G2. I mean, I know I said that a defensive-sided team, but you also got to remember NIP pick up most of their rounds on the attack, and at the moment, well, that's not quite happening, is it?
We said NIP, right, trying to find their new identity. We said that they've not been playing up to the standards of what we saw even back at the WePlay tournament for the same lineup. But right now, this G2 has a point to prove after yesterday's games, and you know full well that they are not letting off the throttle whatsoever. This is full speed ahead, full divide. We're going for the 2-0. We're claiming the points we believe we should have had yesterday. And we're going to put the hurt onto an NIP right now who certainly can't individually. Oh, that's a huge whiff, Lucka. That is not good, my man. Those knives, well, they were more like spoons. As soon as they hit him, they bounced straight off. Hip's at least able to find Piff at this point, but it's going to take a hell of a lot more if they want to try and get this 3 versus 4.
I have to say, like, half the time that Looker uses that ult in this... Oh, hold on. Nice one by Hip going through. He's going to be able to find one there onto Artis, swinging for a little bit more. The flank in the back, though. Mixwell looks for him. Ult up and right-click right on into him. Really well handled by Mixwell, leaving it all down to just one. Rhyme is the one that's looking to do it this time and already taken down Patatek. Just one more player to deal with, but Mixwell's got the knives, and he's ready to go. Jumping up, but he hasn't got sight. He's got to wait for this player to come on through. Oh, that's such a smart smoke. He can see the feed as he comes around. He hears the jump. He definitely hears it now, knows exactly where he is, and takes it up close. Mixwell with the round for the team. 3K and 10-2. G2 have just dominated NIP. It's a good thing that they're in pajamas because they're just asleep right now.
And they're going to be put to bed by G2 for good if it continues like this. Yes, this is G2's pick, but that was dominance. Look at this. Right click with the ult, goes in for a bit more, has a lot of fun with it. Mixwell then playing off the edge of those Cypher cages. Rhyme's like, where might he be? There was a smoke around me. Oh no, knife in my head.
I like
GG.
the rhyme.
Yeah, happens occasionally, you know.
It works with the player name. It's quite good. Here. Conveniently timed.
Patatek having one of those beastly games though, Mixwell alongside him. Your boy Fearoff is clearly Irish right now because he's on 4 for 11.
Yes, yes. No, wait, Irish? No, French. No, no, I've been done.
Twitch chat, clip it. Mitch just admitted it. The terrible Irish plays continue, but the great performance from G2 is looking to continue to push into this site. Fearoff's doing his best to hold on strong, but is it going to be enough? Rhymes also found Piff in the meantime. Mixwell working his way around. He's got himself to the gardens. He was slowed, but he certainly isn't found just yet. The Sage needs that heal up real quick. It's David P and Mixwell up against Lucka and Rhyme. Oh, if Lucka had any idea that he could go now, he might have just been able to see him. Instead, oh, they could think it's B. This is horrible. It's been a complete wraparound. This is great from G2, but NIP are going to be kicking themselves. The camera was used. Now the rush starts in. The spike's going down, but is he going to get there in time? Lucka does find one, and that's actually David P gone down. The heel's taken out of it. Can Mixwell get to the doors, though? Oh, did Rhyme see him? No, he didn't. He didn't see him, but then Rhyme finished him off anyway. Good stuff in the end from NIP, but that looked a little bit too scary. That could have got out of control.
It definitely could have. In the end, though, it goes the way of NIP, and they managed to pick up a round, probably a second on the back of that as well, to bring them still miles out of their goal of even equalizing G2. And there's so much that has to be done at this point. And when I said G2 are a defense-sided team on this map, it's not like they're bad on attack. They still win more than 50% of the rounds they play on it. And so you really can't fault them all that much. The idea of them, 9-3ing is very difficult to fathom. Not just because of the lead they've had, how they've been playing, all that sort of stuff, but just what we've seen from NIP again this week. It has not been good. I'm obviously a very open critic of playing a Phoenix, but I mean, you can beat a dead horse all day saying that stuff. It's not necessarily, it's not the Phoenix that's the problem. Realistically, NIP need to go back to the drawing board when it comes to a lot of their attack-sided rounds. Not just on this map, but in general. Because there's been so many flaws, so many times that you're either seeing them in a position where they get an advantage and they throw it away because they play so aggressive. And I think Rhyme's been the biggest culprit of that from what I see whenever they get post plans. He's very, very itchy to go out and fight. And then Looker, he's somehow being the highest rated player on the team, whilst also I feel like having the lowest accuracy.
I just think they need a bit more depth to this NIP squad, right, to really put themselves into a world-beating level. Now this, they're only going up against pistols. They're just shredding them right now. It's only Patatek left. You don't expect too much in this round, but great job overall. Nice confidence-boosting round. Certainly gives them a flawless round in terms of keeping on to everything they've got. But now the real test is about to strike. Now, how do you deal with G2 who are going to be fully equipped, ready and waiting? Oh, look, there's our Bunny back, and he's with the Bears.
Bunny and the Bears. Well, Bunny and the Bear. And
it's like me on the right and you on the left.
You carry a knife with you. The big combat knife.
The deadly one, right? And the little cute tubby one.
Well, that bear must be exactly the normal height then. That's really weird. I don't know. They look about the same height. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think everyone that's seen the stream by now, Mitch, realizes that you are not average height.
Thanks.
You are about 5'3".
How tall are you guys?
I am 5'11".
That's a lie. At least 6'5".
Mate, I'm 5'11", and you're that much smaller than me. So at best, you are 5'3".
I'm 5'7". What do you tell us 5'3"? He's half my height.
Twitch chat, please help me with this guy.
All right, let's order a ruler. Let's order like a big 2-meter stick.
I'm down.
Probably need 3-meter stick.
No problem. No one else looks this small. It's only you, Mitch, next to me.
Because the others use.
If you have this much of a complex about it and you've got to this part of your life,
just keep bringing it up. Like, well, you seem to always be talking about your heights. Could you bring it up every day? Like, we've seen.
That's a nice one to find. Rhyme slipping.
So off this, G2 can go wherever the hell they want. That spike's even moving towards the A site. And still a lot of Cypher utility there to deal with. But luckily the camera can't spot them. Down goes David P. And with that, the spike lying down the bottom of mid. It's being spotted. They know exactly where it is. And it's time to go through for the fight. Unfortunately, Mixwell hasn't got any smokes left on that jet to block off the sight line.
Oh, that's a good heal, though, for Hip. They're going to straight away go for the quick B push. And there's going to be no reaction here at all from NIP. They've gambled it and they've made the wrong decision. If Mixwell ensures he's careful here. Ooh, timing. Ducking his head down, all that. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. Hip, though, straight onto Mixwell. This is not what you wanted to see. Mixwell needs to be with his teammate there. I don't understand some of the decisions he makes like this, like it's a pub. He's a great player, but sometimes you just think like, you know, we want to actually do this together and win the round, like not just frag out.
Do it for the highlights, man.
Well, that was the biggest wasted Phoenix ever hit, my friend.
No. Phoenix is very valuable. Don't forget.
That has nothing to do with valuable. That was just really poor timing of when to bust the ult.
Look in the back of the site. Patatek 1v2. One headshot. Looks left. He's somehow still alive. He's got paranoia, but he can't make it out. Looker with the pre-fire. And now the defuse. That game's so close, though, Banks.
Looker would probably be dead had that not gone out. If that paranoia, if he'd not gone out and just took the fight, that might have been an opportunity. That was played so well by Nip, though. Look how they were both approaching it round the boxes at the same time. I'm fully down for that. Like, this is just good timing from NIP. Both of them coming round almost simultaneously, just down to the right second. If that paranoia didn't go out, I could see that Patatek might have had a chance of it, but he was low on health. He wanted to give it another bit of effort, but his aim's been so good so far this game. But Nip are clawing their way back into it ever so slowly here.
Yeah, it's still very early half, though. It's the first 3 rounds. You win the first buy round. Now it should be 10-6. So they'll be within, you know, field goal distance if they've got a robotic foot. They got to still close it.
A robotic foot.
Yeah, like
Oh, Lucka. That's not one you want to miss. And Mixwell's just around the corner. But that's not going to work out. Mixwell's ult is wasted. Oh. Padatek. Oh, again in his awkward position. He throws out the paranoia. Luckily, Odyssey is there to help him out. He does some damage with the pistol. This is really good now. Out of nowhere, G2 come alive. The pistol power, it propels them forward. The spike is planted, and there's only 2 players on NIP left.
Well, that's one hell of a turnaround by G2. Low HP and towards the back of the site now. That could be a bit of a difficulty for Pith. But Hip, he's got 49 health. Still has his wall left. Still with his flashes, but he misses the player up behind. This could be absolutely huge. Oh! Damage being done left, right, and center.
Oh.
Pith trying to win it out, but Kree gets it in the end, and that is going to be the defuse.
Ultimately, Pith didn't need to go for that last poke then. He still had time. He could have gone all the way around.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a spur of the moment thing. I can't really fault him for that. But that was wild. Like, they shouldn't have even been in that situation. Mixwell went down with his ult, right? And it looked like that should have just been GG, but those pistols came out swinging and slapping NIP around.
Like, yeah, the damage that they've managed to do in the end is insane. And if you're able to put up that much of a fight when you've only got pistols out, well, let's see what the rifles can do. That'll be some fun. We're going into it now, though. 10-6. We expected the previous round to go the way of NIP. It did, not in the fashion we expected, though.
Mitch, I love this game. There's so many crazy moments we get from it. Like, it really feels like the action is just almost non-stop. And when we're talking about non-stop action, that's Lucka getting it done right here and now. And this is when there should be a better opportunity for G2. But Nip, they've changed the game. They've switched it up. They've gone aggressive. Nice try from Kree, but the rest of his teammates, they are putting in work. And G2, they've not been able to stand up to it at all. They just fell apart completely. Padatek may have had a great game up until this point, but NIP, they've reached that defensive side, and they're looking to make this really competitive now. 10-7, and NIP don't seem to be slowing down, Mitch.
I do like how NIP are perfectly spread out, 1 kill from each other. That's nice.
Teamwork.
13-12.
Share the love.
I like it. It'd be nice if it continued on to the next round, 8-7-6-5-4, but they couldn't be that coordinated. It's a shame.
Oh, on the...
yeah, like 13, 12, 11, 10, 9.
Yep.
And if it went 8, and so on.
That would be next level coordination. Yep.
Everyone
You're asking for a lot there, I'll say.
Everyone with OCD in chat just lose their mind. Like, yes!
Oh, he's trying it again. You can't risk it twice, though. It might pay out for you, but... Hip is just doming.
He's making up for that loss of Kree early on for sure.
Yeah.
Just tapping everybody in middle and leaving G2 pants around their ankles. Not a lot they can really do. Those pistols eventually return 1 kill, but that's about all we really expect with Pith in a 1v3. This round shouldn't go his way. Shock Dart bounces at least to leave him on full HP, but here, oh, okay.
Oy.
Phoenix has managed to heal up fully in the meantime, though.
Yeah.
Hip was like, I think, 30 HP.
Piff's just giving it a bit of welly at the end, right? He's like, all right, I'll do some extra damage. I'll try and make this happen.
Again, though, the pistols actually look better.
Unfortunate timing. Yeah, they're doing better on pistols than they are doing with guns. That's saying something. Nip did go for the same play twice, though, which I'm not a fan of, right? You can start to expect the aggression with it. But at least they've made it work.
I mean, expecting aggression is one thing. And then you're expecting this guy to go up on the same platform, tiny little platform, after you hear a teleport noise to know he's going there.
I don't know, in your mind, though, don't you just check the first place they went last time, like normally?
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. Like, it's one thing, like, if you're going to push mid again, okay, do the mid push. You're going to push mid exactly the same way? Come on.
Why are our observers doing this to us, right? I could do with some gelato right now.
Oh, I'm hungry, bro.
Just rubbing it in, all of Twitch chat, looking for some gelato. Let's get the orders in, boys.
Take flight.
The Kinder Bueno. It's the nicest kind of chocolate.
Oh, come on.
Nicest kind of ice cream. That's the one. G2, 2 away. They're 2 in the lead. They're looking to at least guarantee themselves an overtime. NIP have built up.
Needs to hit this.
Yeah, well,
Mitch.
yeah, come on. At this point, we've
No
seen him
more
miss so
fails.
many.
No more fails, Lucker.
Fearoth has actually got an Odin. He was trying for the wall bangs we saw earlier on. Looker picks up one on the Mixwell before going down at least. Fearoth with a very early reload goes in for the spam. It doesn't connect to anything just
awful.
yet. Way too late on that. Dodging both. Then look at that. They can res up because of that. But Kree in onto a third. David P deleted after saving someone else's life. And now they're in a really awkward spot. No heals. What is that from Artis? 3 in a row immediately. But it's a 1 HP Omen left alive in this 1v1.
Oh.
And he goes down.
Oh my.
Oh.
That was far too close for comfort. What is going on in these rounds?
If David P didn't go down through the smoke, but with random spam, that could have been the round easily done. I mean, Artis just lined them up. That was ridiculous.
All right, Nip, they've made this comeback, but can it continue? How much further can they push the boat out?
Remember,
that G2 boat is getting ready to sail.
the last time they played this, and they had to win in overtime, as we said, it was 32 kills by hit, but again, it was NIP playing this constant aggressive style when they didn't need to.
That shock dart that Fearoth just did, he's been doing round after round. Oh dear, Mixwell. That's not what you want to see happen. I'll come back to what I was saying because it's getting a bit repetitive now. They're getting it done, but it's trading at the moment. 2v2 certainly possible for G2. Rhyme's going to try and work his way around. They're now going to have a good idea where he's coming from. David P on the left-hand side, just checking it out. Oh, he can play it super sneaky now. He can hide and wait. This is going to be really good potentially for G2. Just no one needs to push. No mistakes need to be made. Flames put out by Hip, but it's not going to find anyone. No one pushed out of position. Flash goes out. They slowly start to make their way around. Oh, they're getting tagged quite heavy. Patatek, they do that so well. David P started off, caused them the confusion, and Patatek came in to finish them off. Now, I'm going to say, Mitch, right? G2 need to just wait before going into B. Because Fearoth does that shock dart every time. They took so much damage at the beginning. It's like, yeah, they want to go full force rush into it. I get it. But just wait and let him waste it first. Don't just run into it. Don't get tagged up for no reason.
Yeah, it's just free health. You're giving away free tags. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We saw it from, what, like round 3 or so? Continuously homers. Just one chucked in deep. 11-9 on the board. G2 want to find themselves the extra 2 to close this out. First to 13 takes the cake, and for NIP, they were so far away. It looked next to impossible, and yet they're back in a position where this can work. But this round here could be the deciding factor. It starts out with Rhyme getting a double kill. The push in, caught by Hip, and this is dangerous. Even with Artis finding that shot, they've got a 2-man disadvantage, and they're both stuck outside of A. They have no map control. Middle is just being seized up by NIP, and to win this, they have to just go ham on these duels with no ultimates left whatsoever. The wall put down as well, so Looker's guaranteed to see them as they cross.
And Hip's in a nice spot here that won't be checked, at least at the beginning. He doesn't need to show just yet. Artis gets one, but Hip straight away on it. Flash goes out. Oh, unlucky timing there for David P. And they can't chain a couple of rounds together, so Nip are still within reaching of evening it up.
1 round on the attacking side. That's ridiculous. I said that they win more than half the rounds that they play over in the G2 camp when they're on the attacking side. It's 54% whenever they start on the attack, and they usually do that. That's out of 9 times. Granted, not against the best teams. I mean, we're talking BBL twice, Bonk, Vodafone Giants, but even still, you would imagine that they'd be able to. I mean, they got, what, 5 rounds when they played versus Fish 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, that's less than mine.
9 the last time they played NIP. It was a 13-5 back in the We Play event, so it was not that long ago. They wrecked them. And NIP, who've looked worse here in this tournament than they did in We Play, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Nip got better game after game at We Play. Here, we've just been like, what? I just found out that Mitch tried to sabotage me. He gave me fizzy water.
It was stacked in with the normal water. That's my bad.
I see how it is, Mitch. Now I have to suffer and not have any water for the rest of this game because you decided to give me sparkling water. What is you doing to me? Who has sparkling water? Twitch chat, I know you guys are against sparkling water.
Oh,
you have sense.
Too. I'm too, don't worry.
Clearly you are. You just gave it to me. Horrible, horrible person.
What? Hello? Rhyme? He walked in. He must have looked at David P. He had to. How did he just walk straight past him? Look, and returns it on a Mixwell.
He blinked.
They've got David P still to deal with. He needs to push out fast, though. That's halfway diffused already.
No way.
Yeah, can't get it done. That was wild. It's just like, he's not a problem. Don't worry about it.
Have you got normal water?
Only the one I've drank from.
Oh, Mitch. I hate you right
now.
Okay, definitely Twitch chat. Find me a new duo partner. I don't need to worry with this guy anymore.
I just noticed when you picked it up, it said medium on it. I was like, well, I doubt it's medium water.
This is medium water with a bit of spice, you know. Oh, how are you doing this? You had one job.
Just don't be dramatic. Just text in the group and ask them to bring you something.
It was your job.
I know. I'm sorry. I messed up.
Out of my way.
You shouldn't trust me with.
I should trust you with
any
anything.
sort of task. Banks, you should know this by now. Mixwell.
G2 need to trust themselves some more to get this round. This is a good start, at least. They are in the B site. They can upgrade some of their weapons, but Rhyme is also in the back lines. This is a problem. Rhyme doesn't want to push in it just yet, but he's aware someone might come from the stairs. Hip's pushing out into middle. Made a bit of noise, but no one's close enough for it to be a nuisance just yet. Oh! Artist, you are so unlucky on the timing. Hip's just cruising on by, and he's going to continue to push forward. But David, he's found it. This is good. The B site is secured. They can get that spike down. They've put it into a 2 versus 2. This is a must-win round for G2. It has been so hard on their attacking side. But how do they set up the defense of this?
Well, this is quite interesting. So NIP are going to go together in towards the spawn. And they're going to be spotted. But the lucky thing is, Hip has actually got the ultimate. So he can pop that, run in, and allow his teammate to try and trade out. Surely, they're going to go for that, right? There's the blind.
Oh, the ult.
The push straight away. David P, though, he's got a good angle for this. He can just swing straight on through and go for this. Catches Kree.
Look at that.
They don't need to fight this. They know it's the ultimate that's through. And David P's in a position now, a much better one, because they shouldn't expect him to have pushed out like that. They can also double peek this. It should be about as easy as it comes, but Hip catches the first. Now moving down. He's still got his wall, still got his Molly. Molly goes down. He's starting to defuse, baiting him into the open, but he can't get it done. Pith dies a second later, but a second was just enough to catch the kill onto Hip.
Flames at his feet, and Piff survived. Just enough time to get the kill. Shout out to the Allied Esports production. They're much better than Mitch. They bring me water while I'm dying. And it doesn't have any bubbles inside. It's not sparkling. I'm going to force feed you sparkling water now, Mitch. I want to make you. Imagine if I drank that, I'd be so annoyed.
Oh, that's why I spotted it. I just pointed at it because it's like if you drank that, I think I'd get punched just straight away. Like
a fun story for Twitch chat. The day we arrived here in Germany, we went and bought a lot of water.
Man.
It was all sparkling because we can't read German and we are moronic.
We saw natural. We're like natural, but it naturally doesn't have sparkles. But somehow it did. How does that make sense?
This could be the round though for G2. This is when they can get it. It's looked so rough for them here, Mitch. NIP, they were trying to cruise back into this. And cruise control might be turned off at the last minute. Mixwell, he's come in fast. Oh, he can only get one though. Lucka finishes him off. That's nice from Artist though. The pressure's on. They're pushing forward. There's one still in the back. And just in the nick of time, he spins around. Leaves just Rhyme. But it's not going to be his time to shine. 3 players left. And this could be too hot for him to handle. They're not even planting the spike right now. What is going on?
They were just a little bit cautious.
They're like, you must be somewhere. What's going on?
It could be anywhere.
Nothing makes sense right now.
And they went back to get it just very, very slowly because it had been dropped in the initial push. Now, though, I don't really see Rhyme getting away with this one. Has to push through the smoke. The time is so low. The spam gives away his position. He gets returned on 77 health now. 3 players to find. And this just should never go his way. Picks up Pit to start with. It's down to a 1v1. This could work out. Patatek now has to win this one. The timing was perfect. So just about G2 win that. But considering the lead at halftime, it should never have been this close.
So Ascent is a defensive map then, Mitch, yeah?
Apparently. We know it is for G2, but man, that's ridiculous how much they struggled.
Yeah, that was the struggle bus. And oh my, when it came to how they were trying to hold on to that B site, at times it was awkward. But NIP, they put up a huge fight there, really gave it their all. I got to say, hats off to both teams because they showed us impressive sides, but it was just touch and go, really touch and go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hip again delivering a phenomenal performance on the Phoenix. He's been fantastic to watch. And it feels like a lot of the time he's using the Phoenix, he doesn't actually get anything done directly because of the abilities that he's using. Just want to highlight that. He's just so good. It's unbelievable. Like, I'm looking forward to whether he sticks on this. I feel like if he does stick to Phoenix, he'll get better and better over time. Okay. Because at the moment, I feel like he's not utilizing him to the best of Phoenix's ability.
Yeah.
So you give him like 2 months, this is just going to get scary.
I think he has to get into that point of like learning some of those, like his ulti, right? Learning the time span it has. Because we saw him twice use the ult, run in, and like, oh, I got there, but it was just a little bit too short for me to actually check everything.
We saw the first day as well. There was the 1v1 where he made it to the back of the site, and then he just like walked in, went to shoot the guy, and then disappeared
boom.
again.
Oh,
it's
I'm
like,
gone.
Damn. At least he got the information in that. And that's what it feels like majority of the time. He's using that ability just to get the information out of it, which is still very valuable. But the problem for me is just when it comes down to if you're picking an agent and the majority, like round to round, that agent isn't bringing a lot of value to the team, and you're